All right, welcome to week 2, episode 2 of NFL Draft Bust. Yeah, week 2. We need to have a jersey that is number 2.
I don't have one yet. I got week 11.
Who is number 2? Who is
Robbie B, man. Robbie B. Throwing up deuces.
Yeah, so this week we got a lot of good topics. We kind of went crazy on Twitter in the past week. What, 250 followers or more right now?
Blew up. Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Making it happen.
All thanks to you guys.
Yep.
So that's a great thing. First milestone for NFL Draft Bust.
250. We are going to have a contest. The 1,000th follower does receive something via us. So look out for that. We're not going to tell it till we get a little closer. Not jinx it or anything. But look for that coming up.
Let's hope we can get to 1,000.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's say tax day. Tax day sounds like a good day to hit
April
1,000.
15th.
Yeah.
That gives us a month.
It gives us a month
to get 750 followers.
So
okay.
Look to you guys to help out with that.
So our first topic this week, you know, one of the biggest discussions through the whole last, I guess, week and a half and coming after the Super Bowl is Joe Flacco and apparently his record-setting contract.
Yeah.
Which will get beat, it's no doubt.
Will be beat in less than a year by Aaron Rodgers, and that's just common sense because he's hands down above him.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is of course better than Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
But we put out a question: is like, you know, what does everybody think about? Does he really deserve this contract? And I think me and Nick agree that he doesn't.
Everybody that replied to us on Twitter that no, nobody deserves that much money unless you are a top 4 quarterback in the NFL, and that's Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. For some reason, Joe Flacco gets that, and I don't even put him in my top 6 quarterbacks.
So you just named 4?
Yeah.
Who goes 5?
See, 5, there's the top 4 tier, and then you got Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Joe Flacco's in that group. I put Jay Cutler and Philip Rivers near the bottom of that group, but they're in it. And climbing it is Andrew Luck.
Not only Andrew Luck, but you got Russell Wilson and all the players.
Russell Wilson, yeah. So there is that top tier that deserve. Nobody deserves that much money. I'm not saying that, but that should get that much money. But Joe Flacco, you are not one of them. I'm sorry, man. I'm glad you guys won the Super Bowl, but
well, see, everybody out there, what is this, his 4th or 5th year?
Oh man, I don't even know.
It was his 4th or 5th year, one of the two.
Yeah,
and it's really, I couldn't really tell you.
I mean,
but you got to think. You think in 2-3 years, Tannehill's gonna be taking the Dolphins to the again? I mean, they're similar coming out of college. They're both similar.
Yeah, that's true.
But it just, you don't see it happening because this comes to our point of why he doesn't deserve it. And the thing is, the Ravens are a defensive team.
Yes. Ray
Lewis announced his retirement the week before the playoffs started.
Yeah.
And therefore fueled this great
whole destiny thing. And
yeah.
You got arguably one of the best safeties to ever play the game, the ball hawk Ed Reed.
Who's about to go free agent probably?
Free agent and or retire. And I mean, to me, I don't know why you wouldn't retire. He'd go out on top like Ray Lewis.
He'll be like the next Ty Law that plays for 16,000 teams after he retires.
That's true.
But it leads into things like Joe Flacco. So you got to think, his stats doesn't warrant a $120 million contract. The only thing that even warrants it apparently is that he won a Super Bowl, which, might I say, wasn't really Joe Flacco winning a Super Bowl as much as it was the Ravens defense / the team.
Wideouts. I think the wideouts won that.
Well, not even wideouts. You even got special teams. Jacoby Jones ran back a touchdown.
I don't understand how Jacoby Jones wasn't the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, arguably. That's who I think.
Literally, I was watching the Super Bowl very intoxicated. You know that. But
I think everybody was.
Like, even at the end of the game, I said Jacoby Jones, Anquan Bolden.
That's what we were all saying.
And then Joe Flacco.
And then it comes out, Joe Flacco, what'd you do? You threw the ball.
Joe Flacco, you just won a Super Bowl. What are you going to do?
I'm going to say the F-bomb on CBS. That's what I'm going to do.
Did he do that?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's thousands of YouTube videos showing. Like, oh,
see, I mean, he has an excellent support around him, and that's the only reason why he won.
Well, they did a great thing. Who were the receivers there before Anquan Bolden got there? Who? Nobody. You know, Anquan Bolden was the first one, which was right after the Super Bowl that he went to. Yeah. He went there, and he went there pretty much to die his first year because Joe Flacco sucks. He is not a great quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a great one either.
He is not. He is good. He's almost great, but he's not elite.
Exactly. And that kind of leads you to stats. Before this playoff year, Joe Flacco in the playoffs, his touchdown to interception ratio was literally 8 and 8.
And what did he do this year?
Does that breed success?
No.
No. But all of a sudden, Ray Lewis announced his retirement, and then it blows up.
Yeah, I mean,
he has great receivers, Torrey Smith. He's got Jacoby Jones, probably their third receiver.
Dennis Pitta.
Pitta, the tight end, free agency, by the way. He might be going free agent. He's a Scout League's right fielder. Not only that, but he has a running back that he can run to, which only apparently 5 teams have a real running back in this NFL. A couple more, but I mean,
maybe 10.
Maybe 10, if 10 teams.
Yeah.
I'd have to stretch to figure out all 10.
Yeah. We'd have to be throwing some teams under the bus there.
But even still, you got to look back to the Broncos game. Is that he wouldn't made it to the Super Bowl if Raheem Moore wasn't a rookie and didn't go after an interception. He went for the interception
instead of winning the game,
and then they scored a touchdown. He could have tackled him and it would have been over.
That was such. The last 30 seconds of that game was so awesome.
As a Broncos fan, it hurts my soul.
As a Raiders fan, I was never happier.
But if any team was going to beat us, I wanted Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wanted them to win just because of Ray Lewis. Yeah, he might have murdered somebody. Might have lost his...
Allegedly. Allegedly.
But, I mean, he is one of the greatest, not just linebackers, defensive players to ever step on a football field. And, I mean, that's just like Ed Reed. Ed Reed dominates. Like, if he picks off a ball, you got to think pick six right when he grabs it. So
there's not many defensive players that you can actually think that.
I mean, anytime you see a ball go up and him and his creepy beard go up to catch it, you're like, that's a pick six. And
as far as I've been watching football, which early elementary school, it's been Ray Lewis. That has been not only just Baltimore, but that has been defenses in the NFL. It's Ray Lewis.
He was on the cover of Madden 2005.
Ray Lewis, that is right. Yeah.
Yep. That's creation of the hit stick, by the way. A little throwback knowledge to you.
Yeah, but it was nowhere near as good as ESPN 2K5. God, which, 1 second.
Is that the game where you can have the
T.O. T.O. is on the cover of. Not only but his signature's at the bottom, but yeah, you could play inside the helmet. Actual player.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. You can actually still play online on this one, by the way.
How many people in the world play that game?
0. And I own 2 copies of it. So
you got one still in pristine condition upstairs in the safe.
But shout out UTC alum again, like last week.
So go Mox.
But again, Joe Flacco and his creepy mustache does not deserve this money.
Yep.
At all.
The best mustache in the NFL does deserve that money. Talking about you, Aaron Rodgers.
You mean the Ditka stash that he always has?
God, that thing is so awesome. He literally looks like a 1972 porn star.
But, I mean, still, it's just the thing is that his play doesn't warrant a big contract. I mean, if anything, after this season, the team is going to be, like, he's the icon, apparently, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not somebody that I would put all my eggs in one basket for.
It's like buying a Jake Locker jersey.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you... Baronis is the only team in Chris Johnson for the Titans. Yeah. Now I'm just trying to relate to who the one-man faces of teams. Because that was the Ravens, Ray Lewis was the one-man face, and now they're trying to make it Flacco with a huge contract, And
it's just... I don't know. And one, I just don't understand why they would give... Like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's a perfect example. I know you hate him. I love him.
I hate Tom Brady.
He took a pay cut to win championships.
To better his team.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
not many people would do that.
He's going to lose his best target. I mean,
could lose.
One of his most healthy targets, let's face it. Rob Gronk is his best target. He's a freak of nature. Aaron Hernandez is a top 5 tight end, and he happens to be a backup on the Patriots. But I don't know. But he took a pay cut. And like we said last week, Mark Sanchez is now getting paid more than Tom Brady. And he did that because he wants to win another one so he can go, boom.
Well,
he's been to 5 now and lost 2 on freaky plays.
Well, he restructured his contract, right? Didn't he have like 2 more years on it before?
Yeah, he basically just took like a 2-year extension and then they spread out the money.
So I was talking, and we were talking today about this, is that Joe Flacco's, which restructuring contracts is apparently now is going to be the new thing in the NFL. in like the 4th year of Joe Flacco's deal, 4th or 5th year, he's supposed to make $22 or $23 million in salary. That's not incentives. That's straight up salary.
Yeah.
You know? And that just, you know, this is really a 3-year deal. I mean, it's going to get restructured in the 4th or 5th year. There's no doubt in my mind. Because they're going to be 8-8.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get younger on defense.
They're going to need a defense.
Granted, they started it. Who did they draft last year? Courtney Hitchcock from... Upshaw. Courtney Upshaw from
Upshaw?
Bama. Yeah. So they drafted Ray Lewis's replacement just, honestly, 2 years later because...
who are they going to get?
Yeah, I mean...
to replace that? Because that, I mean, for leadership, Joe Flacco's not going to fill those shoes.
I mean, you got Terrell Suggs.
I mean, who's he led? I mean, he went to Delaware. It led a bunch of people who don't play in the NFL now. You know? Ray Rice didn't listen to him. I know if I was running back, I wouldn't listen to him.
No.
Especially with the stash he grows.
Give him my touches and...
You got $120 million? I didn't get jack.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
So...
Ray Rice, great running back, so...
Alright, well, enough...
We'll move on to some other stuff.
Enough Joe Flacco talk. I mean, everybody's heard Skip Bayless on ESPN talk about it, so we're going to not bore you guys with it. But now we're going to talk about some top wide receiver free agents, which to me is... It's become a passing league, so what do you need? You need a top 15 quarterback, apparently, to win a Super Bowl and get to the playoffs. And then you need some awesome wide receivers, not only just skill, go up and get them balls, burners, but you need some route runners, everything.
You pass blocker. I mean, they got a pass block. You can't have T.O., like a T.O. type receiver out there that won't pass block, but will catch the ultimate touchdown, you know? Because then you're not going to even get there.
This year, I really think you literally have...
You have a lot.
Such a great...
I mean...
There's just such a great bunch of wide receivers.
People are getting cut. I mean, there's actually a decent amount of them in the draft.
Yeah.
That aren't going to be that bad.
Just from Tennessee, you got Cordell Patterson, who...
You got 2, yeah.
Mel Kiper's predicting to be like a #1 wide receiver within 3 or 4 years. You got Justin Hunter, who everybody's up and down on. And then Trayvon Austin, we talked about him last week from West Virginia. They like wide receiver is literally the position now that the NFL is going to that is going to take people to the next level.
You're going to have teams that have 2 or 3 great receivers and not just that one that just shows up. You know, you're going to have 3 50-plus yard receivers probably a week.
Yeah, I feel like if the Lions had a better quarterback, if the Lions team 6 years ago when they drafted 17 wide receivers out of 19 draft picks,
one every year
had Matthew Stafford as their quarterback, would won.
And right now, all they have is Megatron.
Yeah,
I mean, and Nate Burleson.
You got Nasty Nate, and I mean, Titus Young, he was up and down.
Did he get cut?
Yeah, I think he got cut for like a drug test or something. But
yeah, pretty awful.
He just sucked. He was amazing at Boise State and just fell off the chart. So,
but I mean, you'll see some stuff like that. Of course, the play action teams, the 49ers, the Seahawks, and now kind of the Redskins won't have so much of that. I would say. I mean, of course, the 49ers have good receivers, but the Seahawks, I mean, they got Golden Tate.
Yeah,
and
Sidney Rice.
Sidney Rice, yeah, and I mean they don't have a whole bunch. They got a running back, and of course a quarterback that kills.
And an awesome defense.
Yeah, and their defense, Sherman.
Yeah,
definitely. But some of the best free agency pickups, and we kind of been talking about it, and of course there's Wes Welker.
Which
I think is the biggest name right now out there. Where he'll go is the big question, you know, because any team could use him.
Yeah, I mean, and any team I think would love to have him.
And I think so, but I don't think wherever he goes, he's not going to have near as much the production as he did.
I don't think he's going to be nearly as good. I think the wide receivers in New England are like the wide receivers that were in Indianapolis. The quarterback just makes their play that much better.
Yeah, but even with that, he's only great when there's a great tight end.
Yeah,
you know, because there's you check downs, there's check downs.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is that
dip and dunk.
There's Gates, Vernon Davis, and Gronk. You know, those are the 3-star tight ends in the NFL right now. What would you say before? It's Finley maybe.
Finley fell off the chart this year.
I'd say Gonzalez, but Gonzalez may not ever come back.
Gonzalez, he was amazing.
And of course you got Jason Witten, but
Jason Witten,
I view him more as a pass, like a blocker than he is.
I would put him in for sure the top 5 tight ends. I think he's very underrated because he has the bastard of Tony Romo thrown to him.
That is talk about
for itself.
How much I don't like Tony Romo for weeks.
But
Cowboys fans wonder when his eligibility is running up.
You got to think Gronk, Davis, Gonzalez.
You got Gates, Gonzalez.
And then...
Of course, there's probably going to be one come out of nowhere next year, though.
I mean, tight end is getting to that
position. But that's where Welker needs to go.
You know who else is a free agent this year? A freaking nature tight end is Jared Cook.
The Titans are not going
to re-sign him. And literally...
He could go to the Dolphins.
I thought he was going to do so well, and they never used him.
Well, look at their quarterback situation. Matt Hasselbeck, but...
$25.
$25, you got it. But the thing is, they screwed up their quarterback situation. Matt Hasselbeck can go and start at 20 teams in the NFL, I guarantee you. At least 20 teams in the NFL.
He's a game manager.
And that's what he is. And that's the quarterbacks I love, you know. I love game manager quarterbacks, which is a trend for me, I guess. But they put in Jake Locker, and that just breeds... We're getting off topic, but it just breeds a success for failure. You know, we wanted a #1 draft pick. Let's put in Jake Locker.
Yeah, I mean...
Hell, just put in Rusty Smith, you'd do better, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's off topic.
Back to the wide receivers. You got Wes Welker. You got the poor man's Wes Welker, which isn't really poor man's. It's more, hey, I want Wes Welker that's kind of more durable, but not as, I guess, swifty. I would put the swifty, agile. Let's go agile.
Agile's a better word.
And that Damian Amendola coming out of St. Louis. And
the man with the best spike in the NFL.
Good God, this guy is awesome.
He's very underrated.
He literally would have been at least a Pro Bowler if he didn't break his collarbone this year.
That, and of course everybody's going to remind, which I should show a picture of, is when he spiked the ball into the Usher sitting on Silen's face.
Yeah.
Funniest moment. That's got to go funniest moment.
I mean, it was the Giants game where the guy picked off the ball and just came through the end zone and just fastballed it right to the guy's face.
But Amendola is a very underrated receiver, which I don't think he's been able to give the success that he needs in St. Louis. I mean, Bradford's had it tough, you know. Any quarterback going to a terrible team or a losing team has it tough.
I think Bradford, in the past, I mean, I don't want to say like 10 years, but he's had a very, very bad situation. And I think Jeff Fisher going out there last year
probably helped a little. Yeah, definitely.
And but he's had nobody around. He's had literally no line and hand off to Steven Jackson.
But you can even look at, and we get off topic a lot, but you can even look at that as a David Carr type situation, who, I mean, honestly, is a draft bust, but would have been great or good if he went anywhere other than Houston.
Yep. I mean, he would have been decent. And then there's some people, Jamarcus Russell.
You just can't do good anywhere.
I don't think he would have done. He doesn't have the drive to be a good football player. But anyway,
that's definitely it. And,
back to the wide receivers.
Back to wide receivers. There's another one on the list.
Burner Mike Wallace.
Yeah, Mike Wallace, which Miami's heavily pursuing as another receiver.
I think a lot of teams would die to have him too, just because he is. Well, once he learns to maybe shift his shoulders instead of just running in a straight line, doing some double moves and stuff like that. Top 5 wide receiver.
Name one in my head. What's the receiver that went to the Redskins from the Colts? Garcon. Garcon.
Yeah.
Pierre Garcon.
Where'd you come from, Pierre Garcon?
But that's somebody who Miami is burned off of because they were pursuing him heavily last year.
Yep.
And then decided that the price went too high and they was like, we're not paying that. And that's one thing I've been hearing through the rumors and wires is that Miami's not going to pass up on a great receiver because they need somebody for Tannehill. They need a secondary one for Hartline. They may even shift Hartline around a little bit.
I really think Miami is back on the... Miami's
on the back up. Yeah. They're on the swing
They had a last few bad years, but I really think Reggie Bush and...
They just need another running back that's
honestly,
consistent.
Everybody dogs them for drafting Matt Ryan, but...
Tannehill?
No, they drafted Matt Ryan. They didn't draft Matt Ryan. Who's... Jake Long? Not Jake Long.
Are you talking about the tackle?
Yeah.
The center?
The tackle. Who's the tackle?
I think it's Jake Long.
Jake Long is...
Jake Long.
Is it?
Yeah, Jake Long.
Yeah. Anyways, they drafted him over Matt Ryan, and everybody's all in an uproar about it because Matt Ryan's done very well. But
that'll pan out.
Matt Ryan went into a great situation. Matt Ryan went to Miami.
To replace Michael Vick, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Vick wasn't there when he went, but it's pretty much he replaced Michael Vick.
Yeah.
So they were already winning with him. But they need that's a free agent, by the way. It's Ryan Long, and they need to sign him.
Okay.
They need to sign him. They have to. But Hartline's definitely got him on the swing up. Mike Wallace, I think, is going to go there.
Yeah,
if Mike Wallace doesn't go there, it's really 31 teams. You know, he could go to 30 other teams. Yeah, really,
he honestly could.
But one kind of hidden gem that I think is Michael Jenkins out of the Vikings. Played for a long career at Atlanta. He's not the greatest receiver. What he is he's an awesome third receiver. So any team that's looking to replace that, you know, like the Broncos, I mean, of course, they have Demaryius Thomas. I'm going to talk about Broncos a lot. Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker. And it was Stokely and another guy. But he would replace that as a good third one.
Yeah.
I could see him going to Arizona.
God, Arizona needs so much help.
They got Fitzgerald, and then he would be a great like follow-up receiver because he's not one of those receivers that's going to block.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, he plays for Adrian Peterson, you know?
That is true.
He's going to block, but he still has the ability to catch the ball. He has the ability to go up for it. Not as fast as he used to be because he's like 70 years in the league. But he's a receiver that will catch and will block.
And I mean, and you got to have that now. So, I mean, it's crazy. One of mine, I really think he is pretty decent, except this man has gotten left open going over the middle 17 times by Peyton Manning. That's Austin Collie. I think his skill level is very good, but I think he's gotten so many concussions now that he's so scared to go over the middle because they've left. I remember twice that Peyton Manning just said, phew, and
clock
just face down, out cold. So
that makes me think also is that another receiver / special teams guy, Cribbs.
Yeah,
he's on the free agency too, by the way.
And I mean, Josh Cribbs, I wouldn't sign him.
He's had bad by the Ravens for sure. The Ravens single-handedly have almost ruined that guy's career. Even the Steelers knock him down pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's some guy like that's some guy you got to think is that he's great, but he's probably got 2 more years left.
Yeah, I mean,
1 more concussion and then he's probably gone.
But he came in as a punt returner, and I mean, Devin Hester, look what he's did since he came.
You mean a cornerback turned into
wide receiver? Devin Hester is now. And then who was the guy for Kansas City a few years ago that ran back? Dante Hall. Remember what he did?
Where's he at?
I don't know. He broke the record for the most returns in a season. Fell off the face of the earth.
You know, another guy that kind of disappeared is Eddie Royal.
That is true.
He's like a third stringer for the Chargers now.
Yeah.
Great special teams guy. Awesome special teams guy. Because I remember one game they were playing and him and Sproles, this is when Sproles was with the Chargers and Royal was with the Broncos. And they literally returned kicks against each other.
I remember
like
that.
It was 3 or 4 punts / kickoff returns.
Didn't they do it back to back?
Yeah, on a punt. They like one punt got returned, the next one got returned.
Yeah.
But that's some great ones. Free agency, wide receiver is going to be big this year. So.
We'll do a free agency topic every week leading up to the draft. We got quarterback.
There's only 4 more days of free agency until 4 more days until free agency opens up. So
next week's going to be.
It's probably going to be mostly free agency. To be honest.
But then we'll talk about quarterbacks, running backs. We're going to try to hit the skill position. We're not going to bore you with, all right, this is the left tackles that are free agents. So
we'll be honest. You guys don't care about it. We don't usually.
Yeah. But final thing we're going to talk about is the Falcons. I don't know what they are doing down there. I don't know.
They're cleaning house.
They are literally just going, cutting everybody.
The only person they're even wanting to really keep is Gonzalez, and he's not even. He doesn't even he's going to come back.
45. Yeah.
Yeah. But they cut. How many people they cut?
They cut Turner, Dante Robinson, right there.
Yeah.
Awesome cornerback.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowler. And then John Abraham. And you would never think that would happen. I mean, John Abraham's been the face of that defense for the past 5 to 6 years.
Another defensive end?
I don't know.
Like Edwards or something like that?
They just cut everybody. And
they're cleaning house of all the old players, you know? Yeah.
They're trying to get younger, which, I mean,
another team that has great receivers.
Yeah.
Julio, Roddy White. They could get another one, but right now
I think another one. Yeah.
I think they're going to try to draft. They're going to try to draft. Sorry, we're getting attacked back here. They're gonna try to draft. I think running back and definitely some defensive positions.
Yeah, I think
they're gonna try to fill that line a lot.
Yeah, I think they're gonna move to the Colts what they were with Peyton Manning, where they're gonna try to get those fast end rushers and decent cornerbacks.
You think Matty Ice can be a Peyton Manning style player?
I mean,
because his receivers, I honestly think he's good, but his receivers are making him right now.
I really think props to them because, I mean, Roddy White's only got maybe 2 to 3 years max.
Really?
Yeah. Roddy White's getting up there in age. He's like 28, 29.
I think he could go a few more than that. So. But, I mean, it's all different. You know, a couple hits, it could go any way. But also, the Falcons not only are cleaning house, but they're actually going to build a new stadium. Today, they kind of approved to keep the stadium in downtown, and it's going to build a $1 billion stadium with a retractable roof.
Yeah, so that's huge. Huge for Atlanta. I mean, it's already...
They'll probably host some Super Bowls,
yeah,
I'm sure, the first year they open.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do is to host a Super Bowl. Just because, I mean, what that brings just to the city. The Georgia Dome, yeah, it's cool, but it is kind of getting run down because it's been there so long.
It's old. It was.
Yeah.
It's probably been there as long as the Viking Stadium's been in.
Yeah, and I'm guessing they're going to build it near the same thing because the Georgia Dome is just literally right outside.
Well, it's like they're making a sportsplex, essentially. Like a lot of cities, you want to be sportsplex, where the baseball, the basketball, the football stadium, and everything's like right there.
Phillips Arena
is right there.
Yeah, so.
And then Dome is the only thing is Turner Field, of course, is way on the other side of town.
Yeah, but the Braves were.
But they've been there.
The Braves made Atlanta. Let's put it that way.
For professional sports.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Hawks are actually doing very well this year. They are
here lately.
Yeah.
But again, this is an NFL podcast. We don't need to go on Braves or that stuff.
So that's really cool that they're getting a new stadium. I don't think a lot of teams would. I mean, Oakland needs a new stadium. San Francisco's getting their new one. The Jets.
Of course, the Vikings need a new stadium.
They want an outdoor stadium up there,
which will help them tremendously. I think.
Yeah, I think they have. They
how
have
much it helps the Packers.
Team. Yeah, so
it helps the Packers, the Broncos,
Bears,
the Pats. Yeah, the Bears.
Yeah.
I mean, all those stadiums help. Of course, I mean they'll never get Super Bowls, and people hate playing there in the playoffs. But
I mean,
that's all a part of having home field advantage.
Be in a couple of years.
The first cold one in a long time, right?
Yep.
Meadowlands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. But anyways, we're gonna wrap it up. I know we kind of ran long this week, but anyways, we're gonna start a Twitter section. We threw out a couple questions this week on Twitter. Got a lot of feedback talking about who you guys thought was going to be a huge draft bust this year, and I know from what I've read, everybody's leaning towards Monte Te'o and his catfish girlfriend self and Matt Barkley.
Yeah, which of course are kind of the two that everybody's going to think is going to be a draft bust.
I'm kind of indifferent about Matt Barkley, but yeah, I don't see him being a star. He's going to be an excellent clipboard holder in the NFL. Let's just put it that way.
He's going to be next Matt Leinart.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going. I honestly do not think he's going to get drafted in the first round. I don't.
No.
Te'o has the better possibility to be.
I'm calling this now. Quote me. Episode 2. The only quarterback getting drafted in the first round is Geno Smith.
Geno Smith?
Oh.
I actually think, I was thinking about this earlier, is that there's a chance that Jannard Robinson may turn into a quarterback. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The running back from Michigan that tears everything?
Wide receiver from Michigan who previously was a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying he could be. I mean, as scarce as they are this year and how people are going to play action-style quarterbacks, I mean, the man has tremendous possibilities.
He is, and the thing is, if you watch him throw, he's very similar to RG3, who did very, very well this year.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
He's a little bit smaller, and I think...
He's 5'11".
Yeah, I think he'll get tattooed a few times.
But Russell Wilson's the same size. But I will say Russell Wilson is a little bit better passer than Jannard Robinson.
Yeah. So...
But anyway, Nick got you a Twitter follower of the week as well.
Yeah, we're gonna pick one random person for everybody to follow. His name is Evan Francis at FrancisEvan10, who's just like a little kid. Well, not little. He seems
a high school kid playing football.
Yeah. So shout out to him. He had a Rose Bowl picture as his little title picture, so that's pretty cool.
Inspirational quote.
Yep.
So
it's just an inspirational quote. So everybody follow Evan Francis at FrancisEvan10, and we'll pick somebody else next week. So
keep a lookout. Free agency in 4 days. We'll be very active on Twitter during that amount of time. I mean, there's just better things to come. Episode 2.
Episode 2 is in the books, guys.
We'll have 3 next week with a ton of free agency information. So, NFL Draft Bust.
See you guys next week.